MartiniInTheMorning.com from an album called Embraceable, Nicole Henry. That's actually the first song I ever heard by you. By the way, welcome to Martini in the Morning.
Thank you. Really fun to be here.
Well, we wanted to have you here, and when I found out you were going to be at Vibrato, Mother Miriam, our in-house bulldog, she got in touch with your people and reeled you in. And I told you this off the air. It was a few years ago. An old radio colleague, Chuck Hillier, who lives in Chicago, he said, you got to check out Nicole Henry. And I think he met your dad somewhere or something. But he had listened to some of your music, and I think he sent me like an MP3 of like Someone in Love and another cut from the same album, just to introduce us to your music. Yeah. So who are you? Where you been? What's going on?
Oh, let's see. Good question. I'm Nicole Henry. I'm from Philadelphia originally, just outside of Philadelphia.
So is the old bat.
Bucks County. From Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
What? She's from Philadelphia?
From Bucks County. Where are you from?
Bucks County.
Were you from? It's so funny. We were just talking. Oh, wow. So we were just talking about Miami Beach, which is where I live now. And she was like, oh, I lived there 10 years ago. So we're both
She's been run out of so many towns. She's got something in common with everybody.
That's great.
So you're from Philadelphia area.
Yes, I am. And then I went to college down at the University of Miami and stayed there. I mean, I couldn't find a reason to leave. It was either California or Miami.
Yeah, I think it's that way for a lot of people. I think once you get that exposure to the ocean, the beach, and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
What's your musical background?
Sure. I grew up listening to all kinds of music and singing. Singing at church, singing at school choirs, singing along to films and radio and dancing around the house with my mom. Never really thought I was going to be a singer. My aunt actually is a vocalist. She's a background singer for she needs to have her own CD out, Debbie Henry, but she's background singer for Patti LaBelle. She's worked with Bruce Hornsby, Jerry Butler. She was on that tour with Bonnie Raitt when Bruce and Bonnie toured, and my aunt even did a duet with Bonnie Raitt, which was just fabulous to see. But so that was my introduction to music and then the career, but I never thought that I would have a career in music. But then after I graduated from college, and I was working actually for the Grammy Awards in Miami Beach. They have a Florida office. I was working there, and I said, I want to sing. I want to sing and I want to act. And so I left my job in 2000 and figured out how to make a living. So between TV and commercials in Miami, voiceovers, I figured out how to make a living, and then was playing guitar and working around town, and it was opening up. But we were asked by a jazz club to open up for their jazz acts for an hour and a half. Sure. And we would just stick around after the our 1 hour set, and we'd listen to this jazz, and I had never heard it before.
Really? So jazz wasn't your background at all?
Never really listened to it. My background in jazz was watching my grandfather in his brown leather chair with his glass of what I thought was apple juice, and him just kind of going boop ba ba doo ba boop ba da, Betty Carter and all the good bebop and stuff. So yes, I didn't know what that was when I was a kid. And
now here you are.
Here I am with my own apple juice.
Tonight, your own apple juice. Are you going to share? Nicole Henry tonight at Herb Alpert's Vibrato in Bel Air, California. This is one of the first songs that we ever heard. In fact, this is the title track, Embraceable You on MartiniInTheMorning.com. MartiniInTheMorning.com, title track from her album Embraceable, Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. Great Georgia and Ira Gershwin song. We were just talking about a few minutes ago before Nicole came to the microphone. We were talking about we did that twin spin with Michael Bublé's version of the Billy Vera song At This Moment, and we played the Billy Vera version of it. And you're going to do that on your next album?
Super ironic. Yes, I was just in London about a month ago, and we recorded that. And I've always wanted to sing that song, and I remember years ago when I heard this version, I was like, oh no, somebody did it already, and it was the Michael Bublé version. He said, okay, well, that's okay. It's a guy, like you said.
Yeah, I've never heard a woman do the song.
Oh, it's so fun to sing. It's a great emotional tune.
Oh, it is. It just reaches in, grabs your heart, throws it down on the ground, stomps on it.
There's certain songs out there with lyrics that make you feel the story when you sing it, and that one you have to find it, and it comes out every time because the lyrics are great.
Do you do your own arrangements?
I would say it's a combination. I would say 50% of the time I do have an idea in my mind of how I want to feel this song, what tempo I want the song at. We were talking about like Someone in Love. I always love doing it in that 6/8 feel. To me, that always brings a little bit more soul out to me, just because I think that always it just evokes that. And when we were in the studio, we just sat around the break room, and Julian Lage was on guitar, and that's oh boy, Clayton, Gerald Clayton on piano playing that, and I can sing those solos out to you for that. I love that version. And yeah, we'll play that tonight. My drummer that comes up with me, he travels with me when I'm on the road, David Shiverton, does an amazing job at setting up like this Afro-Cuban kind of 6/8 feel. So yeah.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's a very different arrangement of that song. And that's sort of what we do on Tuesdays with Twin Spin Tuesday, where we play different versions of these songs. I mean, because the guys and gals, the people that were writing these songs, I mean, like the Embraceable You that you just did was written by the Gershwins in 1928.
Incredible.
And yet the way you did it, it's as contemporary as anything out there.
And now that one was arranged by Gil Goldstein, an amazing arranger and instrumentalist out of New York. I remember practicing in his house with his Grammys around the mantle.
Really?
He's amazing. So I actually had that arrangement a couple of months before we recorded, so I had a chance to fall into that a little.
Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. This is another song that you totally different touch, and most people who've done this song, it's pretty close to the same. About the only person who really strayed, if you will, on this particular song was Bobby Darin, and he did a really bizarre version of That's All. Yours is unique, but it's not bizarre.
Okay.
It's Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com, and That's All. MartiniInTheMorning.com. Very different, very unique version of That's All. That is too cool.
You.
That is too cool. Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. This is a real pleasure because, again, I mean, we know very little about you because we have no time to do homework.
Hello.
Because Mom and Dad makes me take out the trash in the evening, and I don't have time to do any homework. So
That's great.
I'm not referring to you, Mom, Mother Miriam.
I'm not your mom.
What? You're what?
Mm-hmm.
No, if you were my mom, you'd be nicer to me.
Actually, poor baby.
Actually, my mom, sadly, my real mom, whose birthday was day before yesterday, doesn't remember me. So,
well, it's okay.
She's probably better off not
That's
to.
probably why she was so nice to you.
Bad memories.
Is my mic on?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
It's this mic doesn't have compression on it, so you kind of have to lean into it. It's MartiniInTheMorning.com. Nicole Henry. Who influences you? I hear certain things,
that's a good question. I would honestly say Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston.
Love it.
You know, because that's who I grew up on singing to. But then when it comes to songs and song selection, I think I would lean towards Sarah Vaughan and of course Ella, but she recorded everything. You know. Sarah Vaughan. I love Carmen McRae, but I don't do as many tunes as from her. I did Just a Little Lovin' on the Embraceable CD, which is one of my favorite Carmens.
Your Mother Miriam's a big Carmen McRae fan too.
I'm sorry I missed seeing her live. Yeah.
I still remember the day we played touch football in Atlantic City on the beach.
You and Carmen?
Mm-hmm.
Mother Miriam's been everywhere and done everything and everyone.
Meaning that she's
been around.
Yes.
It's Martini in the Morning. Nicole Henry in the studio. You've done how many? 4 albums?
Too much. Actually, I've done 6 albums.
No.
It's hard to believe.
Did I miss a couple?
Well, 2 were live. One was a holiday album that was live in Japan.
Right.
The newest one is a live one. And I also I was commissioned to do a CD for Japan in 2005. So that one really didn't come much in America except for my
What did you do on
shows.
that one?
It was with Eddie Higgins, great pianist
Right.
Eddie Higgins. Everybody's name's not coming to my head now, but that was a lot of standards. Night and Day, Cry Me a River, Blame It on My Youth, which I love that one. Young
Love
at Heart.
that song.
Yeah, Blame It on My. I'll have to get you that.
I think I have a song from that. Wait a minute. I wish I put his
While
name in
he's
there.
looking, I want everyone to check out Nicole's arms.
Why?
Thank you. Yeah, I got
Are they
some
muscular?
comments on
Do you
those,
work out?
What, are you
I do a
blind?
little bit of workout. Yeah, I love running.
I would do before and after, but I won't.
I'm looking. I'm trying to think. I saw a song with you and Eddie Higgins. It's interesting. You obviously toured Japan.
Yes, love it there.
Don't you find it interesting that jazz is so popular there, and it's a little bit of a struggle here in the U.S.?
I agree. I find it very unfortunate. But I if any place, I'd love to go to Japan. So I'm happy that's that way to a degree. But people really dig it. I think it, of course, has a lot to do with history and the times that Americans were there, and with the war and what they were listening to then.
One of the songs that you do that you have on this album. Oh, I know what we're going to play next. I'm going to skip around.
Okay.
We were just talking about another song, but you just made me think of something. When you look at today's pop artists, we play a couple songs that Christina Aguilera sings on, and she did a duet with Tony Bennett
Right.
on "Stepping Out with My Baby." She also does a song with Andrea Bocelli. I'm trying to think which one. We play a couple with her, but she has always said, Christina Aguilera has always said that she's really influenced by some of the great jazz singers, and one of the jazz and blues singers, and one of them in particular is Etta James, and you do a great version of
Thank you.
Etta's, probably her best known
signature
song.
one,
Yeah.
yes.
At Last, Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. MartiniInTheMorning.com, great version of At Last. It's Nicole Henry, and which album is that on?
That is from the Pink album, which is called Very Thought of You.
The Very Thought of You, that's
yes.
right. You've done 6 albums plus one in
Six
Japan.
albums, crazy. Well, 5 plus 1 in Japan.
Okay.
Yes.
It's interesting. One of the LA has like 3 really well-established jazz clubs. Of course, you're playing at Herb Alpert's Vibrato tonight, which is certainly in the top 3. And then there's Vitello's in Studio City, where we do a live broadcast every Wednesday for lunch.
okay.
And then Catalina Jazz Club. And it's interesting, Catalina. She's from Romania, and we were talking recently. We did Mother Miriam's big old birthday party there.
I know, I love this poster.
Isn't that great?
Great.
That's and you know what's really okay. This is the cool thing about the internet. Okay,
Tell me.
so that poster, that caricature, was done by a woman named Anita Foy. She has a business called Anita Caricatures. She is listening to you right. What time is it? Yeah, she's listening to you right now, Martini in hand, in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, get out.
Isn't
Isn't
it-
that amazing?
I love the internet. You know, it's like
incredible. It's incredible. And I want to say congratulations. You all are at 10,000
Yeah,
on
in
Facebook
fact,
today.
yeah,
That's so fun. That's like a mile
Mother
marker for sure. That's great.
10,007 right
10,000.
now.
That's beautiful.
And Mother
I'm
Miriam
happy
brought
to.
us in this the drunken sun balloon. Just
I love it.
Losing some of his air.
I think you took away all the hot air because you got plenty over there.
I can fill it up.
Look, is he losing?
That's a cute.
I think
balloon.
we're losing. It cost you a lot of money. Of course, she brings up the money. Oy vey. Where were we going? Oh, we're talking about the jazz club.
Yes.
We were having the conversation with Catalina again from Romania. She said it's a shame that jazz isn't as big here in the U.S. as it is in her home. We have
Europe.
lots of listeners in Eastern Europe. This music is very popular. You pointed out it is in Japan. So we're on a quest to put the Great American Songbook, these great songs, back on the pedestal where they belong in the U.S.
I love it.
And we played one of your songs earlier. We played was a great George and Ira Gershwin song written in the late 20s that you make sound like it could have been written yesterday. And that we played your "Embraceable You," which is a Gershwin song. Another Gershwin song. You have a very different approach to this great song from Porgy and Bess.
I would say, and we were talking about how I got into music and my approach to jazz tunes, and I would say a lot of my approach to music or to jazz really has to do with the trio that I started working with in 2002 when I first learned, played, sang jazz. They had such a wonderful spirit. My drummer in particular, Danny Berger, he swings I've never worked with a more swinging as
You were about to
as
say he
drummer.
swings his ass
He's
off.
just, I was going to say that.
You
but I
can't
would
say that on the radio.
Right. So he's just drilling it the whole way.
Yeah.
You know, if you heard it on That's All. His spirit really brought out my spirit, and I was able to do that in jazz. And it just, at the end of this song, you'll feel it. You'll feel what I mean.
Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. 10 a.m. in the West, playing the greatest songs ever written. It's MartiniInTheMorning.com. MartiniInTheMorning.com. Nicole Henry tonight at Herb Alpert's Vibrato in Bel Air, California. We're kind of it's like we're going through playing some songs, and just it's totally random. None of the songs were planned. It was just like, okay, let's just see where the conversation goes. And after every song, I say, hey, are you doing this song tonight?
And I am. It's funny because like summertime, everybody looks at summer. Everybody does summertime, and from whatever age to whatever experience, and so you shy away from adding it to your set list because you don't want to be typical. But it's been years since I've really had that in my set list. And, having done the Blue Note for the first time on Friday night in New York City, with that being my debut and with Summertime being #1 on my first CD, I just felt obliged to do Summertime in New York. And it was hot as, what's that word you said before?
It was what?
Shit. Yeah, it was hot as that.
Mother Miriam says that on the air all the time. She
that's
says
not,
stuff
see,
like
now
that.
I feel so improper.
What do I say?
She said the S word. Ma Plumber's going to be here. Ma Plumber's going to come wash your mouth out with soap.
Please do, no, because it's not appropriate. My mom's probably listening. She's like, Nikki, you didn't need to do that. So, no, but it was so hot in New York, and I had to sing Summertime.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everybody loved it. It's just a great tune.
And you were anything but typical.
Why, thank
This
you
is
very
great
much.
stuff, and I said this off the air when we were talking between this. I say this every time we interview somebody. If it's an interesting conversation, I always say this: one day we're going to figure out a way to have, maybe it'll be a subscription, something, a little bonus for people that support the station. But we're gonna the conversations that go on while the song's playing.
Yes.
It's like you can pay to listen to those because sometimes they're the more interesting conversation.
Honestly,
I hate to say that.
we've been talking, and I've been taking notes on my phone.
We've been talking about songs.
Yes, talking about songs, talking about renditions of certain songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I have my list.
like talking to you about. I mean, you're like. Some of these songs. Summertime. I don't remember when Porgy and Bess came out. I want to say in the 30s. And when we talked, the other Gershwin song you did, "Embraceable You," is 1928. It was written. But when you do these songs, you got that, kind of jazzy, but kind of R&B, pop. You have a very contemporary feel, and that's what we're about. This is not we're not being nostalgic with it. I know some of these songs take people back to a time. I mean, Mother Miriam will talk about the time that she met
Moses,
right? And she's actually the reason. She's actually the reason there are only 10 commandments, because she dropped the other tablet.
It's hilarious.
but he liked music.
He did. He loved music, and that's how the two of them got together. But some people get nostalgic with this music. To us, when I hear you sing these songs, these songs are as contemporary as anything else out there, even though they might have been written 70 or 80 years ago. So so those are the conversations that we have between the songs, and that's what you do with these songs. And I was just knocked out by some of the arrangements and your performance, and I can't wait to hear you do these songs at Vibrato tonight. And it's I'm thinking about it. Mother Miriam looked and said,
Please.
She said, "How are you gonna? You're paying. You're buying my tickets."
I'll buy your ticket. You pick me up and drive, because I can't drive.
I wasn't inviting you.
I don't
Look at that. You all are fabulous. Are you sure you're not related? You all are so funny. The dynamic between you is the best.
I don't really care.
It's
I
the
don't need
best.
to be invited, because who just thinks I'm fabulous.
Who
and
does?
will open the door for me all the time.
Oh, Pat.
Pat just loves me to
Mother
death.
Miriam almost got us thrown
Hey,
out
watch,
of there.
you're on the air.
I know. But she almost got us thrown out of Vibrato one night. We were there for a
can't
show,
imagine, no.
and Tom Jones came in, and Mother Miriam
Get
threw
out.
herself at Tom Jones.
Do you want to
Oh,
explain
fun.
that? Wait, do you want to
Tom,
tell Nicole the truth?
That's great.
Or you just want to leave it that way?
Did you almost throw yourself at Tom Jones?
No,
or not?
I did not. I walked over to him just like anyone else would do. I handed him my card, and I
You're
said,
talking
"We would
on the
like to have
microphone.
you on the radio."
Uh-huh.
And as I was saying that, Mr. Pat took a hold of my
Pat
arm
Senator.
and said,
Pat-
we don't bother the...
We don't get bothered the stars who
the
come
star.
in.
And I said,
no.
do I look like a groupie to you?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I said, I was just inviting him to my show. Would you please let go of my arm?
You know
Very
how-
professional. Exactly.
You know how
dares
Tom
the
Jones and it shows that women throw under things
That's-
up on the stage? Mother Miriam actually doesn't just throw her under. She threw her entire underwear drawer.
I see. I don't.
Stop it. Stop it. You know,
Nicole
don't-
Henry
don't-
on Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com.
You don't have to take this. You don't have to take this, Miriam.
Of all the things that you've done, do you? And I know this is always hard for an artist. Of all the things you've done, I mean, what stands out? Do you have a favorite?
You know, people do ask me that. They say, when they look at the albums, and they say, "Well, which one should I buy? What's your favorite?" And someone gave me this analogy. It's like, well, it's like asking who your favorite child is. But I do have to say, my first child is my favorite, only because it marks the beginning, and of course, there's this freedom in the first one that I had that I always try to keep in my future recordings. You know, and so that I always remind myself of that newness, that vibrancy, you know, that unknown direction that I had.
And the first album was
The Nearness of You.
And what do you have a favorite that we haven't played? Oh,
ooh, from that one.
I'm gonna pick
it,
mine.
yes.
I'm gonna pick one, but I'm gonna ask you what yours would be, and then I'm gonna play mine anyway.
Okay. I don't have a favorite. I mean, I love What'll I Do? I love My Love. I love
Okay,
I
I
love
just changed my
Summertime.
mind.
Oh wait, I don't know.
I just changed my mind.
What were you gonna do?
I was gonna play the title track, "The Nearness of You." It's such a great song.
That actually might be my favorite.
I mean, lyrically, I mean that song. It's all. That's all I need. It's like I think two of the most romantic songs in this genre, especially, but I think of all music. Rodgers and Hart's "My Romance" and "The Nearness of You," because they're saying basically the same thing. All I need is you, the nearness of you.
It's the most. That is the most romantic.
But
it's.
Go ahead.
I when I sing it, and when I go to any club, any stage, that's the song that I sound check my monitors and my microphone to, because I've been singing. I know exactly how I want my voice to sound through that song, and you'll hear me sing that always at every sound check.
Well, in that case, then we will play that one.
I love it.
We might. Are you in a hurry?
Never.
Okay, then maybe we'll play two, because I was going to wrap it up with this. I'll play one more. Nicole Henry tonight, vibrato. Herb Alpert's vibrato, Bel Air, California. The Nearness of You. That's all I need on martiniinthemorning.com. martiniinthemorning.com. That is beautiful. I'm glad I changed my mind and played it. The title track. That's the piano. What's that all about?
Mike Orta.
Yeah?
He's incredible, and he's still incredible. He's in Miami. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
It's beautiful. The Nearness of You, Hoagie Carmichael, Ned Washington lyrics. It's martiniinthemorning.com. I know we're running a little bit over. But the music is wonderful.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. I mean, why don't people know? I mean, do you get the feeling that more people should know you?
I think any artist feels that way.
But in this genre, it just seems like we have a job to do to find the Nicole Henrys of the world.
I appreciate that.
Although you're the only Nicole Henry so
There
far.
you go.
Because you're not. You said something earlier about not wanting to be typical. You're not.
Thank you.
Your style, everything, your presentation. It's like trying to figure out. Okay, is this R&B? Is it because I hear it's funny you mentioned you were influenced by Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston. I mean, you can hear that. You can hear there in that song in Nearness of You. Yeah. I heard some Whitney Houston. I heard some of her the ballad, the R&B ballads. It's like beautiful.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
fun.
you very much.
Tonight at Herb Alpert's Vibrato in Bel Air. Oh, wait, whoa.
Yes.
Mother Miriam, speak into your microphone.
What time is the show?
Well, I think they open the doors at 6 or 6:30 for dinner, and I think the first show is at 7:30. Second show at 9 o'clock.
Oh, you have two shows.
2 shows, 7:30 and 9.
Tonight, Vibrato in Bel Air, California. If you have the opportunity, I saw some comments. Some of you were just at Michael Feinstein's new place in San Francisco. At the Nico.
Yes, a week and a half ago. Yes, Friday and Saturday.
A couple Martini in the Morning listeners commented that they saw you up there and said it was a wonderful show. They were commenting in the club because it's gone through a major remodel since it was the Raz Room before, and they've done an awful lot. Michael Feinstein is definitely shepherding this music everywhere he goes.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. He's a fascinating entertainer too.
He really is. Isn't he?
And knows his knowledge of this. Of course, the Gershwin and the music is beautiful. Watching him talk and sing and
And it's funny because I was just telling Nicole that I ain't an expert when it comes to this music. I'm a fan and I'm learning it. But isn't it fascinating to learn about who writes these songs and where they came from?
I know these little stories about it. Yeah, there was one Hoagie Carmichael story too about he used to live in West Palm Beach and his parents wanted him to be a lawyer, and then on breaks of working in the law office he'd go to the beach and write songs, and apparently he wrote Skylark, or I forget, down on West Palm Beach. But there's all these fun stories that you hear about. There's
great history with this music, and yet while it has all this history, the songs can, depending on how you do them, the songs can sound as contemporary as anything else around. And here's a good example. I don't know what year Irving Berlin wrote What'll I Do, but the way Nicole Henry does it, it could have been yesterday. It's martiniinthemorning.com. What'll I Do? MartiniInTheMorning.com, Irving Berlin's. I was going to look that up while we're sitting here talking.
Right.
What'll I Do from Nicole Henry. That's from your debut album?
That's from The Very Thought of You.
Okay. I get them confused. There was the very...
So it's The Nearness of You was the first
album. That's The Very Thought of You.
And The Very Thought of You is the second album.
All fabulous music, and we're just privileged to have you. And I wanted to do this for a long time, and then I saw that you were going to be up at Michael at Feinstein's at the Nico, and then I looked and saw that you're going to be at Vibrato, and I thought very cool.
Fun.
Now, where have you played in LA before?
I played Catalina actually in 2008,
and I missed that. I remember seeing that you were going to be there, and didn't get to go, and that's around the time my friend told me about you. So so we've known about you for 5 years, and finally, here you are on MartiniInTheMorning.com.
It's wild how things just happen, and how long you think, it's like, it just happened, but no, it's 5 years in the making.
I know, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. In fact, we're about to do our 7th anniversary party this September.
Congratulations.
And that will be at Vitello's. Like I said, we're really fortunate here in LA to have 3 places that have really committed themselves to this music.
Beautiful.
And we're very excited. And Vibrato, what?
I love it.
10,000. We've been worried because I've seen it kind of go up and down a little bit, and I was really reluctant to announce the 10,000 this morning. I didn't want to jinx it. No. We've been talking about it. It's
okay.
But I was afraid to jinx it. Listen, let's play because I know you've got to. You have rehearsal.
I do. We get over there around 3:00.
Yeah.
So,
let's see. Let's play one more. From Nicole Henry, just because I'm not done with Nicole
Well, Brad,
yet.
thank you for your approach. Again, like Martini in the Morning is such a fun perspective on this music.
Thank
and
you.
I think that's what music is. You don't want to overanalyze anything. It's about enjoying the music for what it brings.
We want to make it fun.
So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for great arrangements, great performances. Nicole Henry tonight at Herb Alpert's Vibrato in Bel Air, California. And again, 2 shows. First show
7:30 and 9:00.
And 9:00. Nicole Henry on MartiniInTheMorning.com. Great Sammy Kahn song to wrap up this visit. Teach Me Tonight on Martini in the Morning.
Now that's music.